Oh shit. Hold up, hold up. Had a good time, darling. No, collective, we're not giving them narc supply. We didn't peep their little game. This is a collective message. Hold on one second. Run, whore. They might as well forget it. They might as well forget it. Whoops, what did I do? They might as well forget it. Coming from motherfuckers. We ain't giving them no supply. You know, when you peep out, when you start peeping the game, and you just, you know, you're in a whole nother zone, a whole nother vibe, you got a whole nother shit going on, and you're just like, okay, that's sad if that's what they need to feel alive. Like, you know, when you start looking at how some of these folks operate, and it's because they're trying to, you know, be relevant and feel alive and all that. And yeah, because they scared when y'all quiet. I guarantee you, they're scared, they're nervous, they're antsy, they don't know, they're trying to figure it out. And then, you know, motherfuckers rolling around, and they don't, because when you're not talking, you know, you're not talking if you're not visible. And it's like, okay, well, what are they doing? Are they dead? Are they sick? Are they, you know, what are they doing? And y'all kind of possibly giggle in the background the way I do. Because you be knowing exactly full well what the hell you doing. You're like, yeah. Nope. So, collective message. I think the title says, I was trying to put, hold on, y'all. It just wouldn't let me do it. I wonder, oh, this is new. So let me see if it'll let me do AI wallpaper. Nope, never mind. Hold on. I'm not going to even do that. Oh, hold on. Okay. So there is a collective scale message that, now I don't want to say it's necessarily to your haters collective necessarily, but kind of, sort of. And it's something that you all could have either done literally. Some of you may have literally said it. You may have literally called people or called them, went up to them, texted them or something and said what I'm about to say in a minute. Others of you, you didn't do this literally, but this is an energetic energy that you have put out there to your haters or people that were not full-blown haters, but they were working with your full-blown haters. So people that were working with, like if it was your relatives that was, you know, plotting against you or whoever, right? So we're divine feminine and or masculine, because this is possibly both. Okay. And the message that has been put out is this: give up the heads. Give up the heads of the dark witches. Give up the heads of the dark witches and warlocks in our bloodline. We might have mercy. That's the message. Y'all some cold pieces. See, these people done turned y'all y'all your own version now. Shit, y'all the standalone own version of like fuck it. Okay, because you already know what's going on. So you're like, you've learned how to operate in a higher vibrational form of how they operate. Yep. So since you've done messed around and figured out that basically the only reason why these folks were involved with your toxic bloodlines and all these people, the only reason why they participated to begin with was money. It was money. And some kind of promise of, I promise you, it wasn't just for, for ethical purposes. It was for money. It was for some type of opportunity of sorts. And it just so happened, now, for some of you, it's just so happened that they didn't like you. It just so happened that they were actually jealous of you. It just so happened that just seemed to be, a little bit of an icing. A side piece, but because you had never really done anything to these people per se, you know what I'm saying? There was no reason for them to have a problem with you truly. Okay. Just like same with your family, but I'm just saying that there was no reason like, okay. So then the only reasons left is this: money, resources. And, they get to soothe that gnawing, unending, unyielding sense of insecurity and jealousy and all that stuff that they feel. Okay. So now some of you have spoken. Okay. This is masculine and feminine, both. Some of you have actually spoken. I don't know who you've spoken to, which one or whatever, but some of you have spoken. Some of you have given like either text message or you verbally spoke and said, hand over the witch. In other words, what you meant by that is, I know what you're involved in and I know that you're to not tell me. And I know what they offered you. Your only saving grace, I might have mercy, hand them over. I might have mercy. The mercy is going to be determined by each of you. Some of you, I don't know what your mercy is. Because at this point, you're kind of like, oh, I'm on a mission. A quiet one now. It's quiet. Maybe the mission, maybe you're telling them, I might have mercy, meaning I won't sue you and all the pants off of you for violating so many violations. I'll let you live. I'll let your ass live. Or it could be something like, I won't utterly, because some of y'all got some power that people don't think you got. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, hand me the witch. Okay. You want to think about your people? Y'all rolling with that same vibe. Like, yeah. You want to think about your family, don't you? You want to think about your children and your grandchildren and your great grandchildren and your reputation and you also aren't you concerned? Give me the witch. Hand over that witch. Saving grace. That's the call that's put out. That's how y'all rolling. Y'all, the equalizer and shit is rolling. It's like, you stupid. Now, give them up. And that means admit, because somebody's going to say, what are they implying? So that some of y'all are reaching out, or they're reaching out to y'all, whatever this is, energetic is, the jig is up. Everybody can put down the masks and stop being nervous and getting antsy every time, and cars swarming, and bitch, motherfuckers got to go up and down the stairs 30 times. Ain't shit to do 30 times, bitch. You ain't got that much goddamn gross. It's like everybody is all in some kind of way. And so what it is, okay, we're going to stop with the pretense, and you're going to tell me that you spoke with them, and you're going to give me the information. You're going to show that to me, and you're going to hand them over. That's what you're going to do. Okay. You're going to let me know if the situation was they contacted you, or you're going to be honest and admit that in your jealousy and on some weird bitch nigga shit, that you crossed some boundaries and did some this and that and thus and so and reached out, and then that's how it happened. But either way, here's your chance. For some of you, if it's your exes, this may be something that you do with your ex. Because some of you, this is business. It's professional. It's exes. It's neighbors. It's because y'all, the equalizer. It's going to shock a few. It's going to shock a few. But you're going to be like, I tell you what, ex. Some of y'all gonna roll like that. I tell you what, give me the witch. Hand them over. That's gonna be your saving grace. You want some ease and shit. You want some ease. You want some saving grace. Give me the witch. Tell me. Right? Y'all gonna be like, give me the info. Give me shit. Ask when did you start communicating? Give me the proof is. What did they ask you? Who asked you to do what? How many witches? How many witches? And see, when I say the witch, I'm referencing to distortion. Okay? Because that's all this is distortion. No matter how we want to flip a pancake. So there's going to be some people who actually, after maybe a moment, they're going to comply. If they haven't already. You all will continue to move in silence, which spoofs them. And I advise it, actually. Share nothing. I'm not. The more I figure out, like, the patterns, I watch everything. The more I figure out, if they're trying to feel me out and want to get a reaction, and so they'll do this move, and like, let's see if they do that. And let's see, all these are childish games. But that's, you all are in candy land, but the candy is rotten and outdated and no longer sold. You know what I'm saying? Right? You know. So you're pulling back your supply, and I'm gonna keep advising my legit viewers and followers, not the crazies that's hell-bent on stalking. But the amplification of this self-love and self-care that you all are doing is working for you in the background. Because you know what it does? And how it ties in. So it grants you the clarity, because you can't get clarity, right? Sometimes it's hard to get any kind of that tapping in and all that when you're all frazzled, which is why they try to frazzle you in the first place. They want you chasing rabbit holes and upset because you're going to be misdirected and all of that. Chaotic. Okay. So all of the self-love and self-care, and sometimes when we just go quiet, and then, taking care of yourself a lot, taking care of your children, but you're also doing stuff. Because with all of that quiet, then there's the clarity. Not only that, but then there's the strength. Because when you're not exerting, just play with this, okay? I forget what the name of the martial art or the type of fighting style it's called, but I know it's something Asian, and it's what Sheolian masters or something like that. So in that, they're trained. It's a little bit different than certain arts or fighting styles, but in it, they're trained to. They move. Listen, watch this. They move very delicately and very gracefully, and then they're trained. Now, most of us, especially those of us from the streets, the more force, the more better. Okay, but they're trained to actually just almost with this flow to just only follow inertia and to allow the inertia to be working for you so that you're exuding less of yourself and less of your energy. Meanwhile, now watch this. Meanwhile, because your opponent, they're usually in overkill most of the time. So they're spinning themselves. They're spinning. They're nervous. They can't sleep. They're all over the place. They're doing 30,000 spells, bitch. They done did so many spells now. Shit, they sitting there doing spells on their damn self, bitch. So they're spinning. They're basically spinning all their energy, their time, their resources. They got to pay this nigga, bitch, go over there. And they got to call and have this one. And they got to get the bitch over there. You know what I'm saying? It's some energy. It's too much. It's a lot. Meanwhile, so you move, you expend only, watch that, only what's necessary, but you lean into it. You don't even go against it. That's what I think inertia is about. You lean into it. You don't really go against, because you're going to use it in this art form of fighting. You're going to use that. That's why they call him a Sheolian master. You're going to use it to take out your opponent. So in other words, you're going to use all of their fighting to take them out. Because they're going to be mad. They're going to tantrum. They're going to throw shit at doors. They're going to call your phone 100,000 times. They're going to have their weirdo drunken man, being weird. They're going to have all, because they're spinning. They're spinning. See how, and so inertia, look at that. They're gonna do it. It's called, they create a case for you. Those of you where these people, participate in something about your inheritance or home or whatever, or even just a bounty hunt, because people have put hits on our heads as a collective of folks, right? I don't get it, but anyway, so it's a thing. So either way, you're gonna use all these violations. Do you see that? Somebody's gonna catch it and gonna be like, well, goddamn, well, I'll be son of a bitch. You're going to use all these violations, but now, see what they expect for you, what they're hoping you continue to do, and many of you are not doing it no more. They're hoping that you're going to keep announcing it, or that you're going to go on and say, whoop, like now you're switching up the game, because they're trying to switch up the game. They're trying to follow and kind of peg you into what you're going to do, so they're being schooled like most people are. You really can't do it. But don't mean you ain't doing nothing. So now, you're just going to let it, you're going to do what you got to do, but you may not speak of it. You may go totally dead zone for a whole 24 hours. But you're not, though. You're really active. But it's for all intents and purposes, you're not. You're not going to give like a 4, none of that. They just going to have to let it. They're going to have to just roll, figure it out. You ain't going to say nothing. But because of all of this, they're going to keep trying to trigger you. So they're going to keep doing the same things they've been doing. Some of them going to keep spazzing out. They're going to keep, saying stuff, trying to make sure they're in certain vicinities to say stuff. So you're building a case. Some of you, like I said, if you've been stolen from, whether somebody took a picture of your credit card, I don't care if it was your man, your woman, or some people hacking your account, don't matter. Whatever it is people could have been doing or plotting and trying to do, now you're just going to keep, now you got a fine-tooth eye on your shit. You see that? All they did was alert you to be alert. All these people have really managed to do for y'all is basically alert you to the need. Okay, you're dealing with criminals, and the chances are it's more of them than you think. Change all your shit. Shut it down. Just shut it down. Change all your shit. Get creative with the affairs. Get your monies, pay your bills, pull, put stuff, move stuff around, get gift cards. Do that to fuck them up. Fuck them up. Because now because they just brought, what happens is that they brought to your awareness that they're skankatronic as you thought, which is a bonus. Here's that other bonus. All that these people are doing is simply re-edifying what you knew. You see that? Re-edifying what you actually knew the entire time, what everybody claimed, you tripping, you this, you that, and such and so, and thus and thou, and it's like, no, but see, but they're proving it. They're proving. I ain't even do it. They are helping me. They proved it. They proved what I suspected anyway about their character, about their motivations, about their real get up versus the get up that they got, their henchmen's and flying monkeys convinced of. So you're building a case. And what does that mean? So the more these people do to you, then the more you have, as you are being more pulled back. See it? Self-love, self-care, handling your business affairs, you're doing your own research and investigation. So your eye is keen. Now you're monitoring, watch, right? Because you know now what the get up is. And so all these subtle activities that they think that you won't know, you are catching them and you're piling it up for your case. Some of y'all are catching it, recording it on camera. You're doing, when people think, oh, this won't be seen or it's going to be missed. That's an assumption. They'll have to find out too, huh? So like all that sneaky behaviors and the stalking, the trolling, you're building a case. Strange activity, you're building a case. Saving all these phone calls and text messages, you're building a case. Right? Because look, just like I came on right now, every time I come live now, there's a certain area code number. I got a series of the same area code, but about 3 different phone numbers. Just as of yesterday, they called at least 10 times. Somebody gonna say, damn. Yeah. Did they leave a message? No. Is my mailbox full? No. Because see, I'm the type of person, I check those things. Because it's like, okay, I got a lot on my plate. And so I may miss a call on some legit reason, not just because I'm not answering rando calls. So I likes to try to keep it open, because if it's important, and if these are business people, most people that are business, if they have business affairs with you, most of the time they're going to leave a message, because they're calling you on the basis of business, right? And so I do that so that I can always go back and go, okay, if I did, let me see what they said, or okay, here it is, boom. But, but no, they ain't do none of that. So, with that being said, that's a beautiful place to be. I think most of you feel much lighter. You could have been doing your own stuff with this full moon, not knowing, like, oh boy, let me just, whew. But anyway, in a good way. Own one. You're like, red witch. But keep at that. Y'all your own form of gangster in a good way. Your own form of gangster. That's how you moving now. Like, because that's what they're about. When you can figure out what people are about, the fact that people are easily bought and sold, it gives you what they're about. The street language is money talks, bullshit walk. Some of y'all may tell, depending on who you dealing with, some of y'all may say, give me the witch. I might pay one of your bills for you. Hand me the witch. Give me the information. What did they tell you? When did you start communicating with them? Give me what I want. I might pay one of your bills. I might pay one of your pressing bills, or I might give you a certain amount. They put bounty on me. Well, unlike them, I got a little bit of character. So if you provide the goods, I am good on what I say. We can do it half and half, just for shits and giggles. You just to keep something on a solid, and you not feel like something will be done and somebody can try to pull a smooth one on you. I'll do this before, and then once you bring me what I want entirely, then I will complete. That's gangster. That's gangster. Because collectors like, Just y'all ain't playing. Y'all, oh no, because they sell these. They all sell out. So you're like, shit, people sell out. Why not learn the language? Why not learn the language? They're sellouts. People are sellouts. So why not lean into it? Inertia, Sheol and Master. Why not lean into it and start rolling with your Denzel Washington equalizers tilt? It's like, okay, you come in with your smoothness. Like, okay, I tell you what. You got 3 seconds. Some Godfather shit. You got. I tell you what. I know most of you, now you all are not, at least those of you I think it's for, you're probably not calling or reaching out to like any family members, because it's the family members that you're commanding them to release, that you're commanding them to hand over to you. You're commanding them to hand over, because they're the only reason why, let me tell you why. For most of you, they're the head. Now they have dealt with the fucked up peoples everywhere you've gone. No doubt. Okay. So we understand how the trickling of it. But the head is your blood. That's why you all are requiring their head. So you're giving some of these people, the very people that they hired, the very people they hired, ain't that a trip? The very people that they hired, or to rephrase, that they offered something to, whatever language you want to use, because it's all the same to me. Okay? The very people they hired to pretend to be your friend, that they hired to invite you over for Thanksgiving, that and that they hired, right, to offer you or your children a spot so that they can plot, so that they can monitor. The very ones, some of the very ones that you dated, that they offered to get close to and near because your guard was too up, because you already can see through bitches a mile away. You don't have the energy for it. I had the energy for it. You're like, I just don't have it. I don't have it. Everybody worry about it. I try and it don't work. But even though many of you were guarded with men too, divine feminine, and they figured that out too at some point. Like, okay, there's nothing, and they gonna fuck around. So we need to do something, bitch. Distraction. So look, why not? See, that's some street shit. But yours is gonna have a little bit of oomph to it because you got some otherworldly backing on it. Right? Like, okay, So congratulations if that's what's happening. Because didn't I tell y'all? Didn't I say? I said, just watch. Just sit, just wait for it. Just let it all roll. And so people fucking up, people doing all kind of shit, just spazzing out, doing the most. And that's how you use your enemy's volatile nature, impulsive, reckless nature, temper tantrumy nature against them. They can't help it. Most of these types of folks are used to the life they've lived. They've been that way since they came out their mother's hoo-haws. And, it's worked for them. These could be people that have been bullies their whole lives. So this has worked. Most of the folks that's been in their environment or surrounding them, even if they thought differently or felt differently, they were too afraid. They were too afraid to admit that and say that and do anything about that. So they just smile and nod. And they make sure to laugh at the jokes and, agree with them and all those things because they don't want to raise suspicion. So they'll sit there and talk crazy, everything just as to not, provoke suspicion in them. It's like, I don't want them because they're bullies. And people, some of these people know that. That's how your opponents destroy themselves. They're going to keep running around the town. Their story is going to get tied in knots. They're going to keep, this is going, the thing, about all these folks and people involved, nobody, I think the real deal with them is nobody, no one wants to be seen. Listen, no one wants to be seen as someone who is that low, even though they know they are. But no one wants that to be seen. So that is why people do try to hide behind false pretense. They try to hide behind some kind of a fake cause. I'm going to do lots of teachings and videos on exposing that and giving good examples and stuff to get people to learn how to sift through more and more, to get to the heart, and through breaking through the illusion of what something looks like, what someone wants you to think is why they're doing this, and that. And sometimes it's just what they need to hide behind because of the sociopathy. Okay. The need to be seen as a decent person, the need to be seen as a godly person, the need to be seen as a law-abiding person, the need to be seen as a pure in heart and intention, the fear of reputation and how something, and so that's why they do those types of things, and that's why they will exploit certain situations. But like I said, I'll be having a lot more discussions and teachings down the road about how you can cut through it. And once you do, it's going to shift your whole perception from then on. It's going to change everything because it's just going to help you to just accept and get that people bullshit. People they bullshit. I can give you an example. I'll give you guys one to kind of chew on. A general blank one to chew on, and go down that path for yourself. Be your own thinker and be your own investigator of all things. We've all been pushed shit down our throats and our heads, whether we know it or not. Time to challenge it. Now, let's say I'm going to do it like this. Let's say I am a 40-year-old woman, 40-year-old single woman. I'm trying to give y'all an example to play with. I'm not 40, by the way. I'm almost 50. But anyway, let's say I am a 40-year-old single woman. And now let's just say I am attractive. Okay, I'm attractive. Let's say I'm depending on where I am and my culture and all those various different things, I may be considered pretty. Right? And I know it. And now let's say but unbeknownst to the world, I do have a lot of issues inside. I do. I've kind of spent my life, I've always known I was pretty. I got a lot of pretty privilege. Some of what I've gotten was because of that. And if it wasn't, it was because of maybe my parents or a certain, connections and so forth. And it's kind of just been set up like that. And as a result, I never really dealt with my issues. In fact, I almost pretended like I don't have any. Because why? Because I'm pretty. And everybody is singing my praises. And I'm so smart. At least that's what people telling me. And it's gotten me far. I have this position. So over time, by the time I got to the age of 40, I've managed to get a career. I found myself a little career and shit. Made a, little decent living for myself. Little power. Got me a little power. Unbeknownst to the world, though, I never healed. Unbeknownst to the world, there's more to it under this hood than meets the eye. And I didn't have to deal with it. Why deal with what? The world is bowing to me. What do you mean? I'm perfect. What do you mean? So I worked my job, a career. I might have gotten it all. I may have gotten it justly. But I'm not, maybe not so much. It's a little bit it's a little mixed because of my pretty privilege. I may be lazy, but you wouldn't know it. So in my position, I've made I made a name for myself finally, and unfortunately, I do use it in my advantage. That it's borderline, and some would say, there's it's borderline, right? I kind of operate with a little bit of nepotism, so of course my peeps, I ain't gonna say it, because I ain't stupid. But, my peeps get preferential treatment, and, I'll turn my eye away from certain things, or I will maybe move them a little bit further ahead than they really were. I may deny or remove something that I actually found in the process of something. And, I operate a little bit on a hush. Okay. And if it's somebody, if it's somebody I like, I might, if there's something I feel like that there's some kind of, I can really get something, I might. Now, let's say one day a fella comes into my office, or my place of where I work, my office, and he's coming in, for the business services in which I offer, that I run, that I'm over. Okay. And let's say he handsome. And let's say he's my kind of handsome, right? As a single 40-year-old woman, let's say he's my kind of handsome. Because, handsome is subjective, just like pretty is. So he's my kind of handsome, and, I'm feeling some kind of way. Let's say, I'm like, shit, he cute. He cute. And, let's say he flirting with me, and I'm grinning like I'm in a Thanksgiving parade. You know what I'm saying? Cheeks all the way up to the eyebrows. You know what I'm saying? Smiling so large. Right? And, so now cool. So this little banter is going on and shit. My whole little get up done changed in the whole process. Okay. Which not necessarily bad, a little unprofessional. Okay. And so as a result, I'll bypass a couple things because I like this guy. I like seeing him. I think we may be able to have some fun, or, we may be able to, do a couple of favors. This may work in my favor. And this is what I'm calculating. I'm not saying it. I ain't saying this to nobody. This is what I'm thinking. And because of that, then I go, okay. And, I know full well he may have some questionable things, that would make me and my business kind of say, maybe you shouldn't. I may know that, I may know and see that there's more going on with things than he is alluding. But because I like him and we flirt and, maybe made some kind of deals with each other or whatever, I'm kind of like, okay, I'll pretend, just in case my people come down from the up and up, the up, I'll pretend like I am not in the know or I'm not aware, but I am. And I won't make a deal of it either because I like this guy. So I'm not going to be on his ass. I'm not going to be on his helmet. I'm not going to be all up on his nuts. I'm not going to be calling him every few days with some make-believe makeup shit just because I'm not going to be, being weird and trying to send people, because in truth, I do know. But I like him. And we have a deal. I like him. So yeah, that's not cool, but I ain't gonna trip and I'm not gonna make a deal of it. Somebody out there is gonna say, well, Bloomy, okay, welcome to the world of business. What's wrong with that? Most business, well, that tells me a lot about you. But but here's the thing. Okay. But are these business people equally trying to act? That's where things get interesting. Because which one are you? Are you somebody who fudge and bend, or are you not? But see, these are the people who, as I am mentioning with this woman, this 40-year-old example, okay, it's only as it pertains to whether this is her family in terms of nepotism, okay, or because she is single, some dude, that she finds handsome, flirting, whatever the thing is. So then there's this. Okay, so let's say the same 40-year-old woman do that, right? And it's a reality. And let's say she got maybe two, three niggas in her particular business that she knows is, some questionable things, yada, yada. But again, it's just kind of like, no, doesn't matter. Now, let's fast forward. Same lady. Let's say I'm this 40-year-old, same lady. I got that going on in my little business. It ain't something that's on blast. It's something that I'm aware of. Okay? Now, let's fast forward. Let's say a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months down the road. She's still in her business function. Everything is as it always has been. And let's say a lady comes into the office. And let's say the lady that comes into the office is around her age, maybe a little older. She don't know this lady. This is not a friend. This is not a family member. It is not somebody from her circle at all. Okay? She don't know this lady. And for whatever reason, because see, we try to size things up based on our understanding, and we'll look I call it the look down, the up, down, look down. We'll do that and think, okay, well, no, there's no reason to. This 40-year-old woman in this business, they're attractive and established. And so that's why. And as a woman, like I can tell you, if this woman that comes into this office, I'm gonna tell you something right now. If she comes into the office, depending on what her surrounding situation is, if she's coming as in for herself or if she's coming in as in representative for someone else. Now, if she comes in as in representative for someone else, that 40-year-old woman may very well steal, because if they feel like they can capitalize off of a situation, remember, that's their vibe, so they definitely will do. However, here's the difference. If that woman is somebody that, whatever reason, provokes something in them, whether it is they think these dudes is going to be looking at her, or it's something about the woman, now that woman is on hypervigilance. And I'm about to show you. If it was in connection to someone else on behalf, the woman comes in on behalf of somebody else, she's going to do that. But I guarantee, right? So let's say she does the business as this woman is on behalf of somebody, let's say an old person that she's over or whatever. And let's say this woman, she has the tendency, she may be a micromanager, but when you're somebody that kind of do certain things, you kind of almost have to be. So let's say, she already started looking into that woman unbeknownst to the woman, because the woman wasn't necessarily in there on her own behalf, but she already bypassing privacy already. And as a result of that, she stumbles across something, right? She stumbles across that starts to get her feeling some kind of way. And from there, it then turns into the obsession of watching whatever it is she stumbled across, graduates to now she wants to kind of fine tooth, she's all enamored, a little bit bothered, and wanting to find something, right, to ruin or to make a deal so she can feel better about herself. But the truth, she needs something because there's something provoked. So she's now on the hypervigilance, already crossing lines from the start, and going to exploit whatever the situation is that this woman is with this old person. So she's going to be hyper vigilant on things that she willingly turned a blind eye to. So in other words, she wasn't scrutinizing these gentlemen that came in to do business. She even barely glazed. Okay? Barely glazed. But once they saw what they saw that they shouldn't have really seen, or at best, even if they did, when you're a professional, you keep certain things separate. It don't become a full-fledged obsession. It doesn't turn into a whole full-fledged weirdy thing. And then you get whole towns into it. So, again, this is the point. This is the kind of stuff I'll be talking a lot about and teaching and giving more examples over time to show people how, because it's a thing. It's life. This is not new. I ain't saying nothing that's new. I ain't saying nothing that ain't been going on since the beginning of ages. And especially when you have places like small towns and, because it just depends. Sometimes that the smallness is easier to control. It's easier to control. The restrictions, the smallness, and all of that sometimes help folks that operate like that because it's not on a massive scale. There's the chances of that getting out, or the chances of it getting out of the quarantines in which they've been able to control it, are slim. And they know it. In bigger places and bigger, where it's like, there's like 30 motherfuckers and shit, nigga, it's too many. It's kind of too loose. It's just too many. It's too much. It's too many loose ends. It's too many people. Okay. And that's a probability of something kind of getting, So the point that I'm making is, in life, this is not new, but this is how we'll be able to learn to understand that a lot of people are operating like that. Because I say it all the time, but it's just going over a lot of folks' head. I say it all the time. When something is truly, really about a matter of fact, There are no exceptions, not even for your own people. When something is just about 100% as a matter of facts, there are absolutely no exceptions and no leeways. Whether it's the baby mama, a baby daddy, a sister, a brother, an aunt, a cousin, a potential lover, an old person, a young person. If it is just down to the bottom of the barrel, a matter of fact. And that it's only about the rule or the matter of fact, there will be no one ever, and I mean ever, everyone will be reviewed in the same manner. Everyone will get the same amount of attention brought into processes. There will be no special, and with the exception of when there's some kind of violent case, and of course, like you know what I'm saying, when it's real, not this made up shit. But as a standard, it's going to be across the board. The proceedings and the procedures and the approaches are going to be across the board. There's not going to be this, okay, for this person and this business contract, the exact same type of contract. It's not going to be, for this person, I need to have 5 reviews on some basic shit. For this person, I barely need one. I'll just do one for shits and giggles, just to have the checks and balances for paper purpose. See, those subtle ways of operation is the telltale signs. When people be in like an uproar and you see them going about trying to act like, nah, people don't want to own that they're jealous. People don't want to own that they're jealous. They don't want to own that they're bothered by you. They don't like you because you ain't a Baptist. They don't like you. People don't want to own that. They also don't want to own, you all to figure out, they won't want to own, especially content creators. They don't want to own the fact that they decided to become obsessed and to, continue to watch you after, let's say they heard about you, they watched you, and they discovered, they don't like what you about. They don't like what you into. They don't like what you about. It was them that decided to turn this into a full-fledged obsession. And to use that they discovered that they didn't like as some kind of ammo. All this is going to come out anyway. But that's my point. That's the reveal. Because again, if you're a content creator, okay, and maybe it's kind of known, but also see just like any other person, like famous people, not that we up there like that, okay, but they try to kind of minimize because they don't want people becoming weird. They know how humans are. And so it's like they try to keep it, if it's not correlated to what they're doing, then they try to keep it separate for that reason. So they don't go around, you all don't go around, recruiting cult members. You haven't went around knocking on everybody's door. Hey, you want to have a tarot reading, bitch? You want it. Right? Because it's like, no. Humans are weird. They get weird. Read the room. Right? You wouldn't try to be up in theirs, even though you have most of their ticket. You were able to see. That's what they never knew. But again, because you respect life as it is, like, okay, and that's their life, and it ain't my problem, my business. They just could not offer you that in return. That's the thing. They could not do that. So then it becomes a whole project. And all of those types of things are signs that something is not right. Because as I said, how many dollars y'all want to bet me that if in these types of scenarios, if somebody like bond to somebody, they want to fuck, they, whatever. How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet that they may even waive a couple, fees and shiznits and, all of these things that would otherwise normally be what's required. But, they'll go technically, well, okay. Well, technically, it was just, it was the weekend. So those, you couldn't get a hold of us and, so technically you tried to reach out. And so technically, we really don't have to, because we understand that, the website happened here and you tried to reach out there and I didn't respond and so on and forth. So technically you've been a decent, they've been on time and on point all up to this very point. So technically, with all things considered, for the ones that they like, follow me, for the ones that they like, okay? If it's them dudes that they fucking, okay? Or if the dude, they crushing on somebody and they friends with whoever, whatever the case may be. But when it's somebody, this is why not everybody should be in business or a leader. That's just my opinion. That's how I feel. For this very reason. Because you can't be both. To me, it's like you're either crooked or you're not. But this picking and choosing of when we want to be strenuous and stringent and, to the T, and then when it serves us differently, right? That's how y'all gonna learn up in the game. Just the game of life. You're gonna peep it out. People then watching you and stalking you. Everybody acting like they're not this and they're not that. I'm PC. I'm hashtag woke, and I got friends. I understand. No, well, it's all behavior, baby. They may also look. I'll go here. I'll say this. Remember that there's a show that was called, I want to say, is it Bridgerton or Bridgetown or Bridge something? Anyway, it's like this old English kind of shit. And this one of the main women leading features, she turned into she was a gossip columnist. But it was like an anonymous back when they still had those. Okay, because it was old. And people loved her writings. They loved what she did. And sometimes they got upset. They were provoked because she had some very strong opinions of her own. And she used her creativity. That's called using your creativity, honey. But she used her creativity of writing, her power of writing, to do that and to also cause people to provoke thought. And that's exactly what she did. And it created an uproar unbeknownst to her. And then when she discovered it created an uproar, because she was anonymous. She was an anonymous writer. When she discovered, like, oh my gosh. And then people was mad when they figured it out, like it was her. And it's the same thing. People aren't bothered by their strong opinions. They're bothered by strong opinions of others that bumps up against them. Because I guarantee you, all these people with their upsetness, I promise you, they all have some very strong opinions about who you are, what you do, what you look like, and they don't have a problem with saying it all around the world in their respective circles. They have a problem. These are the people who can dish stuff out into the world, but they can't take it. And so when they discovered that you all were a voice and started finding out, because of their obsession, that they were getting triggered in some of the things being said through your expression and your creativity about your life experience and what you were experiencing even amongst them. And they didn't like it. But these are the same people that thought it was, humor for coffee and donuts to talk about you. Without any discretion. Isn't it funny how these types of people, they get tight like their asses can crack walnuts? And all of a sudden there's this, they don't have discretion. They don't have filters. None of these people have filters. They're lying. They don't have no filters. They say what the hell they want to say. To whomever they want to say it to, and wherever they want to say it. And they don't care whether or not it's going to have some kind of a negative impact on your life or not, or your children's life. They don't care. But they thought you were supposed to. You were supposed to care about, well, I shouldn't say, because too many people, that don't even make no sense to me. I'm like, really? So we supposed to care when people don't care? Help me to understand. We supposed to care when people don't care. They hee-heeing, they ha-haing, they're doing all this, and we know it, and they're creating issues and obstacles. So, but we're supposed to care when we're speaking the truth about who the fuck they are and what they doing. And our creativeness. Because see, if they wasn't there, they wouldn't have even known. And this is how people are going to reveal to you them too. Because for the simple fact that you are not going around in real time, as you navigate the world and the physicality, you're not, it's not that way. It's not the kind of vibe. Then there's only one other alternative. Just one. They stalking you. And for some of y'all, these same people start getting in, this is this is when they start all of a sudden getting ideas. This is why there's a lot of judgment going down, because again, all of this shit, but yet and still, these are the same people who started getting inspired. Now they want to get their nails done. One thing about that. Now they want to get their hair done. One thing about that either. Now they want to do a podcast. They sure the fuck one thing about that. Now, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, It ain't like that TikTok only just came when you came. These motherfuckers already knew about all that shit. But now, all of a sudden, right? Now they want to do, oh, I can do this and I can do that. Ah, okay. Exactly. So they start stealing. For some of you, they just essentially start stealing because, like I said, most of these people be more skankatronic than you know. Professionals at stealing. I said this the other day. Some people, that should be what they have on their resume. Okay? You still write resumes even though it's outdated. But if you have one, that should be there. That should be one of the main highlights in a PhD. Okay? Let me change that. PhD. Shit. However you want to rephrase it. Like, that should be legit on some of these people's shit as a list of skills, the skill set. I am a professional at thievery. If you need somebody to steal, I can give you a good deal. Okay? This is what you need to do. First, you watch the patterns of your target. You watch the pattern of your target. 2, become your target's friend. 3, when your target goes to the bathroom, take a picture, pull out there. 4, create a scenario where your target has to put compromising information in a device you have, or create a scenario where you need to see theirs. 5, plan. Plan ahead. The best way to be a thief is to go under the radar. You don't want to bring too much attention to yourself. If you go out here and you go wild and out, this may alert your target. So you don't want to go try to blow it out the pot right away. And you definitely don't want to do it at a time where they're not spending anything at all. So you want to monitor that and get into the sweet spots. Six, utilize your resources. If you know someone, these are skills. These people should put that on their shit. I have a certification in thiefology. Okay? I can get it done. Right? Because stealing ideas, videos, that's all theft. Pretending like that's not what they're doing. They can fuck themselves in the head to convince themselves that's not what they're doing all their own. But that's what that is. Okay. Energy, because most of these types of folks are energy vampires. So, using your energy, what they're, sitting and using your energy, and so that they could, get some inspiration. They don't know how to do it on their own. So that they can feel relevant and all of those things. Because the proof is in the pudding. Why wasn't it there until you? Where was all of that? Okay. And then for some of you, it's just a situation where people, they don't like I said, it just depends on these folks. They don't like that you get attention. They feel that they're better than, and that you're not all that, and so forth. And so they just use all of that, just like anything else in this life, y'all. I've been down paths of religious circle and I've seen all sorts of things. Okay? How so many things was clumped under things to be used as a way to manipulate and control and dominate and to abuse. Because individuals aren't really truly, they go around proclaiming all of this shit, but it's like, no, you're not, because no, you're not. Because you would be speaking better than that. You would know that you're dealing with a whole adult person, and they're, honey, y'all eye to eye, baby. You don't look down or nose down or anything like that, and you would have a certain amount of approach to you when you healed, honey. You're not sitting in your authority, your makeshift, whatever the fuck. You're not sitting in that and thinking that because, I am the prophetess of the last, all things Jesus. And you're healed. So because your own journey, your own dealing with traumas and all of the gunky stuff, you realize like, hey, I may have a position or I may know this or that, but that's a person, that's an adult person. Okay, they have been abused. It don't do me no good to brag about me having every certification in traumas and all these, but I can't recognize it and treat these folks with all of this skill set that I claim to fucking have, especially when it's something that's bumping up against something that maybe I haven't really dealt with. But y'all have a right, and I'm glad for some of y'all out there, because ain't nobody told people to become full-fledged stalkers. If all these people were as happy and satisfied as they're trying to convince the world they are, all these people sitting on top of the world, why the fuck are they stalking you? They're fulfilled. They get everything they want. All of these things. About it. They got them a husband, a man, a wife, whatever it is that these people hide behind as if that makes them anything. So why are they stalking you? Chances are, if they're not a part of this criminal enterprise, which most of them are, but if they're not a part of the criminal enterprise for some little bounty money, now the degenerates that's a part of that, I ain't gonna even say have mercy on soul. They ain't getting none. It's done, dot. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Collective is calling it. That's why it's a wrap, because the collective is calling it. And has ordered hell. Okay? Yes, they have. What else do you do? When people are trying to swarm you, say, okay, very well, everybody die. Good night. Shit, fuck it. Fuck it. Let's see how they can fade it. Let's see if they can fade it the way I can fade it. Right? If people y'all have a right to create, and y'all don't care if all you want to do is jump double dutch on your social media. That's your business. If that's all you do, jump double dutch, grinning. And let's say you got people coming there and folks look like, I don't even know why they over there. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know whether it's not their problem, bitch. Why you there? See, these are the questions humans need to start asking themselves. Okay, no, why you there? Well, no, we just want to make fun. No, here's the truth. You're miserable because if you were really happy, you wouldn't even have issue and time to do that because you're too busy being happy in your life. Something's wrong with you. That's what the real truth. Something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. Maybe you're a bully. And the true things about bullies is they're insecure. That's what most people know. So if folks out here in the world, they got something to say and they making all this big deal and issue because of, what they see online, they shouldn't have had their happy asses there. Okay? They can swipe just like everybody's professional at this phase of the game. They could have swiped their happy asses off of it onto the shit more to who they are and their liking. They can go to the Jesus platforms and sit there. Okay? Or their cooking show or, whatever. Like nobody has to just sit up and watch nothing that they don't want to watch. That gets on their nerve, that's bothering them. Right? So, yeah. And then these people will equally just sit there, pretend like they don't even, pretend like that ain't what they doing. That's the kicker. It's like, that's what makes these people weird, yo. Pretend like that's not what they doing. So keep being you and doing you, whatever this is you're doing. In terms of handling about this heavyweight shit, keep moving in silence. Keep doing what you got to do in the background on it. Keep shaking it up and moving it around. Okay? Keep letting them stack up the case. We do have to report. I know there's some of you that's kind of like, really? All of this, it's creating a trail. Will there be anything to come of it? Maybe. I can tell you this for sure, depending on what side of this thing you own, in terms of esoterically, full show. Let's just say that. Full show. But in terms of, the land and all that, maybe. Okay? Because all these kinds of folks, there's no rhyme and reason. They're not just going to go away into the sunset. I've told this story time and time again. A psychopath, you're not going to shake the psychopath's hand. Okay? And it's not going to be like that. You're not going to have this experience, okay? This moment of history that you all converse and throw everything on the table and everybody's like, okay, it is what it is. This is just not a good match. We did, whoopty-whoop. And everybody goes on in their respective lives without trying to impede and intrude or cause any issues. That's not going to happen, baby. That's not going to happen. So we have to get in position to do what is necessary for ourselves. Okay? And you need to know you have a right to do that. So you can live and breathe free. Right? So keep doing that, but report what you have to, because they're slipping up and they're getting sloppy, and some of them is just too goddamn arrogant, which is going to play right into your hand.